Problem is say me ba no. Yes, the results no onya 39, onya 35. 35 in the school onya English school no onya ba kumpo. Na na go be in the school onya 39. Onya the first choice. And no say me ba because me ba no onya school. Anything na ba ha no say ba be sesa. Say fe dey say na be duru ha no say. Since me ba no o say Omon be a she. Omon be a she. Since I'm about the results by but I'm not happy that because on the side I'm so Troy into any study teacher called yesterday discuss it. Some results no nya on tell some nobody knows results. Not that for nya 39 no nya school I no nya school. Or to sue infant mine any I can say wait if any say never some I confused cry. The first choice no to sue.
Okay, so we're back again with another video. It's been a while, but yes, we're back. This video is an educative one. So over the week, we had the GS releasing the placement for the BECE students who went to write their BECE last year, 2022. Their results came in, I think, 2 weeks ago. And so since then, they had been waiting patiently. And so that just this past week where the placement was released, and there were a lot of how do we say it? Some were happy, some were not happy, some were smiling, some were not smiling. I mean, if it's one thing that Ghana would never disappoint you is that there is always going to be a challenge or a problem when it comes to results in WASI, BECE, and then the placements for BECE candidates. We always have people who think that they wrote the exams, but then the one who marked them didn't mark them well, and so they didn't get the appropriate grade they were supposed to get. And then when it comes to the placement too, there's always an issue. Like 70% of the students will get schools, and then the 30% will not get school. And then there will be self-placement, and others will not get school at all, and all that. This year's own is quite interesting, and yes, there was this woman who, wait, let me play the video. Listen to this video.
Problem is say me ba no. Yes, the results no onya 39, onya 35. 35 in the school onya English school no onya ba kumpo. Na na go be in the school onya 39. Onya the first choice. And no say me ba ha because me ba no onya school. Anything na ba ha no say ba be sesa. Say fe dey say na be duru ha no say. Since I'm about to say, Omon be a she. Omon be a she. Since I'm about the results by but I'm not happy that because on the side I'm so Troy into any study teacher called yesterday discuss it. Some results no nya on tell some nobody knows results. Not that for nya 39 no nya school I no nya school. Or to sue infant mine any I can say wait if any say never some I confused cry. The first choice no to sue a brig girls. The second choice was to sue infant mine. And they agree. Onya mu ba kumpo. 35.
Ninja we ha say yam place mo school bi emu. Nyame chusu ye nyam fa me anhye bi emu. Enu ntina me ba ha say no. Me 34 but omam mami school bia. But other guy be we class oyi 35 onyani first choice A school. Ena obi sunya 40 onyani second choice. Ba me hwe me die no. Me nya nya e wo say me nya no.
Okay, and so yes, the videos were two. I don't know whether to laugh because this is funny and it's serious at the same time. It's funny because during our time we were even shy to come and say in public that we had 20. It was really easy. During our time there was no remedial for BECE. Once you fail, you know you are either going to learn a trade or a vocation B. So everybody put his last, on the BECE. Like we learned to what I don't know, but I think we were more serious about it than this era. But because 20, like 35, and your parents will come out. Like it's even fun. But then again, it's serious because for a mom to actually come and then really fight for her child who has 35, then there's a reason behind it. And then you heard her say that a friend of her daughter or somebody they know got 39 and then had a school. Meanwhile, her child got 35 and didn't get a school. So okay, we are going to look at it whether she has a case or not. Whether I mean we are even going to look at the reasons why one could get an aggregate like 35 and not get a school, and another person could get an aggregate like 39 and still get a school. Why and how is that possible? So yes, let's see. I decided to put down some things that would help us to do this. So let's see. So I decided to pull up the BECE grading system. So it's on Google. You can just go and check it. Google the BECE grading system. They'll give it to you. So there you have it. So it says that from 90 to 100 is graded as 1, and that's A plus. And then they will give you the remark is highest. And then from 80 to 89, that's the second category in this classification, and it's graded as 2, which is grade A, and the remark is higher. So the 90 to 100 is highest, and then the 80 to 89 is higher. So from 70 to 79 is 3, and then or you can say B plus, and it's described as high. 60 to 69 is 4, that's B, and then high average. And then we have 55 to 60, and that's C, and it's classified as 5, and that's the average. And then we have the low average, which starts from 50 to 54, and is graded as C, and that's 6. And then it says any mark ranging from 40 to 42, every mark in the 40 column to 49 is described as D, and that's 7. And the remark is low. And then 35 to 39 is E, and that's 8, and it's lower. And then for F9, that starts from 0 to 34. Okay, so I decided to also tabulate it here, so you can see. So yes, from 90 to 100 is highest and is graded as 1. 80 to 89 is higher, graded as 2. 70 to 79 high, graded as 3. And then 60 to 69, that's high average, graded as 4. We have 55 to 59, that's the average, and that's 5, graded as 5. We have the 50 to 54, the remark is low average and graded as 6. And then we have 40 to 49, remarked as low, and the grade is 7. And then from 35 to 39, we have the lower remark, and then the grade as 8. And then from the last one is the 0 to 34, and that's the lowest, and then the 9. So that's the marking, the grading system. So there is no fail in it. When you have the 0 to 34, it is remarked as lowest, not fail. I think during our time it was excellent, good, and fail and credit and all those things. But this is the new one. So this is the grading system for BC. Okay. Now before we even start, let's also calculate. Let's try to calculate some of the BC results and see how. Like I said earlier, I want us to calculate or see how or why, how and the why one person will get an aggregate like 35 and not get a school, and why somebody will get 39 and get a school. So before that, we've now looked at the grading system. Now let's look at how to calculate for the results itself. So before we calculate the results, there's something you should know. So if you can see here on the screen, we have so there are 9 subjects. So 4 of them are called the core subjects, and that's the English, the math, mathematics, the science, and then the social studies. So these ones are classified as core subjects. And then we have the electives, the 5 other subjects. So we have RME, BDT, ICT, Ghanaian language, and French. So these are the electives or the other subjects apart from the core. So what they do is that the they usually take the four core. They take the core first, and then when they finish, they take the two of the best electives. Any best two they take. And so let's see. Let's have a sample of the results. So say that somebody writes the BC and then had this. So English 1, mathematics 2, science 3, social studies 1. I put a line under the social studies because that's the core. It marks, so from this place, this to this place, that's that's the core subject. So that's the, so after that we come to RME. The RME person had 1, ICT 3, BDT 2, and Ghanaian language as 1, and then French as 4. French is mostly optional for, it's optional for some schools. Not every school do the French, so some would write 8 subjects and then others will write 9. Okay, now in calculation, like I said, we have to calculate the first 4, that's the core. So English, math, science, and social studies. So math 1, English 1, math 2, science 3, and social studies 1. Now 1 plus 2 gives us 3, 3 plus the 3 gives us 6, plus 1 7. So that's a 7 here. This 7, that's a 7 here. Now you look for your best 2 out of the electives. So from RME to ICT, BDT, Ghanaian language, and French, we look for the best 2. So if you look at RME, RME had 1, that's good. So we add 1 to it. We come here, we see that Ghanaian language also had 1. We take that 1, add it to it. So 7 plus 1 plus 1. That gives us 9 at grade 9, which is a good grade. Most schools will fight over this grade. So that's a good one. Now let's look for an alternative grade. So let's take the woman's child's results. She says the child got 35. So let's, now there are various combinations of subjects that would make somebody get the aggregate 35 a lot. But since we don't really know which one exactly she got, we are going to, do just for calculation sake. So we are going to guess the grades or suggest the grades that would amount to, or that when we calculate we get 35. So we come to English. Let's say that the person had 4, math 6, science 8, social studies 6. Then we come to the electives: RME 7, ICT 5, BDT 6, Ghanaian language 7, and French 8. So we have to calculate the first 4, that's the core. So English 4 plus math 6, that's 10. So we have 10 plus science 8, that's 18. 18 plus social studies 6, so that's 24. So there's a 24 you see here, 24. Okay, now we look for the best 2. If you look here, realize that ICT is 5. So that's good. So we add ICT here, so plus 5. And then we have the BDT 6. So let's say, let me pull a calculator here. So let me look for calculator. So let's say that we have, so the 24. The 24. So we have 24 plus 5 plus 6. So that will give us 35. So that's aggregate 35. That's fine. Okay. So let's go back. Now let's see. So that's 35. Now sometimes too they don't use the grade. Sometimes there is what we call the raw score. So let's try to understand why somebody might get 35 and not get a school, and another person might get another grade which is closer and still get a school. In this case, in the woman's case, there was 35 and 39, but I want to use 35. So this same 35 that the woman's child, I don't know whether it's a son or a daughter, got. So let's come to this side, to the right side. You see English. English is, let's say that, so we are doing raw score. So in the case of a raw score, where they are, because they do add the raw score as well. If you have looked closely on the results slip, they've written the raw score to there, so you get to know how much you score, like the raw score, which means that you get to see the mark the results you got, the actual mark that was able to add up to get whatever grade you had. So 60. Now English, let's say the person got 60. So this is for we are calculating for the 35, for the grade 35. So let's say that English got 60. Now let's look at the range of English. So English is in this range. So 60 to 69 is 4. That's grade 4. And so if you look at this place, English here, she had 4. And if you look at the range, 4 ranges from 60 to 69. So let's take the least, which is 60. So that's 60. And so if you come here, math, she has 6. So let's go and put up 6. So 6 will range from 50 to 54. So let's take the least one, which is 50. So that is 50 here. And then we come to the science 8. So let's go and look at the range. So 8 start from 35 to 39. So let's come down 35 to 39. So let's take the 35. And then we come here, look at social studies is 6. So let's look at the range for social studies. So the range for social studies will be from that was 6, right? 6. So again, 50 to 54 for the 6. So we'll take the 50 again. 50. So for social studies, got 50. So there you have it. So let's add the 50. So 60. So let's put the calculator. So the person was 60 plus 60. I'm coming. 60 plus 50 plus 35 plus 50. So that's 195. So there you have it, the 195 here. So now let's look for the best two. So we come here. Her best two was ICT and then BDT, which was added. So ICT and BDT. So ICT, she had 5. So let's look for the range 5. 55 to 69. So let's look for to 59. Sorry. So let's take a 55. So 55. So 55 for ICT. And then BDT, she had 6. So 6 ranges from 50 to 54. So let's take 50. So 50 here. So let's add. So we'll add, you can see I've added it 195 plus 55. So just let me calculate again. Plus 55 plus 50. Sorry, plus 50. So that will give us 300. So this is the raw score for somebody who got 35. Now in this case, I want to use the same 35 again. Now there's a possibility that 2 of you would have 35 and 1 person will get school, another won't get school. So let's see how that could be possible. So if you look at the range I was picking it from, for example, for the English, she got 4. And English, the 4 ranges from 60, the 4 ranges from 60 to 69. 60 to 69. And I took the 60. From this side. So for the other side, I'm going to take the extreme right, the ones on your right side. So the highest ones from within the range. So this is 69. So for all of it, so English, I take 69 here. Math, I take the range which is 54. Science, I take the range which is 39, because the range is from 39 to 35 to 39. Social studies, I take from 50 to 54, so I take the 54. ICT, it ranges from 55 to 59, so I take the 59. and then BDT it ranges from 50 to 54. I take the 54. Now when you add the core, so let's try and add a core and see what we get. Um, so the core 69 plus 54 plus 39 plus 54 plus 54. That gives us 216, and you can see the 216 here clearly. 216. Now let's add this one, the ICT and then the BDT to it. So ICT got 59, so plus 59. Oh, sorry. So 216 plus 59, giving us 275 plus 54 plus 54, giving us 329. 329. Now, as you can see clearly, this is a grade of 35. Two people getting 35, I grade 35. And I've calculated the raw score of these two people. One had 300. And another person had what? 329. Now, these are two people who have the same aggregate 35. So you see where this is going. So if we are using the raw score, you could even get what do we call it? You could get the same 35, but then you have different raw score, which means that if a school is trying to pick a student from any of this any of these grades, will probably pick the one with the highest raw score. And your child who has the same grade but then different raw score, a lower raw score, wouldn't be picked. So this is one of the reasons. Now, another thing too that I think is a problem was the fact that sometimes what parents don't realize is that there's now we've used the raw score. There is the courses as well. When choosing the school, now she mentioned that let's go back to the video and then let's see.
Problem ni say me ba no. Ni say the results no onya 39, onya 35 ni school onya English school no onya ba kumpo. Na na fo be ni school onya 39, onya the first choice. And no say me ba because me ba no onya school. Anything ya ba no say ba be sesa.
Now, she says that the child didn't get school because a friend of hers got 39 and got a school, and her daughter didn't get a school. What she's failing to understand is that there's difference in courses. So look at the school she mentioned. She mentioned,
since I'm a bano, o say, I won't be a shame. Since I'm a results by I'm not happy that because on the side I'm so Troy. Into I know one study teacher calling yesterday discuss it. Side results no nya on tell some nobody knows side results. Then I for nya 39 no nya school, I know nya school. Or to sue infant mine any I can say wait if I say never some I confused cry. The first choice no to sue a brig girls. The second choice was to sue infant mine. Any agree. Oh nya mu ba kumpu.
Okay, so you heard clearly the school she mentioned. Every girls, that's an A school, Infantiman, the B, and then Agri. So for the A category, you're allowed to choose just one school. The B category, you can choose 2 schools from that place. And then C category, I think you can choose 3 or 2 or so. And then it goes up to 5. Now, there's a possibility that her child chose, there are courses that are very highly competitive. So courses like general science, agric science, business, and general arts. These courses are highly competitive, especially the science, math, the science and the business. They are highly competitive. So if you choose any of these courses, you should be sure that your grades are good. Because if your grades are not good, you are not going to be picked. So for her daughter to get 35, and for her to come and say that her daughter, that's the first problem. Now, I can't also judge her too much because I don't know which course her child chose. But for 35, I'm hoping she didn't choose science or business because it will be very difficult to get 35. In any of the schools, get a school with 35, in any of the schools she mentioned, in the Brig Girls and Infantile Man in Agri, for 35, no. For all you know, the one who had 39 and had a school probably chose some of this A school, but want to choose something like this, some of these less competitive courses like visual arts, home economics, which one else? Yes, visual arts, home economics. When you choose these schools, and you even choose some of the high schools, and your grades are not good, these courses are not highly competitive. So your chance of getting it is high. You have a chance of getting it. So the reason why her daughter had 35 and didn't get a school is probably because of the course her daughter chose. Because of the course her daughter chose. So that could play a major role in it. I mean, aside from the raw score issue, I think, in fact, when I'm looking, I think for her, whatever her daughter chose is probably a science or business or even general arts. A lot of people like to do general arts, a lot of them. And for schools like a Brig Girls and Infantile Man and Agri, you cannot, they will not allow you to come there with 35. No, they wouldn't. But somebody like this would choose somebody like her, and even this is hearsay for her to even say that her friend had what do we call it, 39 and chose her first choice. Who knows? Maybe her first choice is not from the A-listed school. Her first choice, the thing is that you have to choose one A-listed school if you want and as your first choice. However, you could decide not to choose an A-listed school in your first choice. So you can decide to choose as a B-listed school in your first choice or a C-listed school in your first choice. It's not mandatory that you choose an A-listed school. So her friend's first choice could be from any of the categories, but not even from A. And so it's possible that her friend could get that school and she not getting that school. So this whole thing is wavy. Because the whole thing is, I mean, for a mom to actually come here and then, be very angry or be wild about their child not getting school with that grade, cause for, some questioning. Because, I mean, like I said earlier, during our time, if you can't even brag with 20, you can't brag with 20. Trust me, you can't even tell people. It's only people close to you who know what you get when your grade is like 20 there. But for 35, it's serious. So yes, this is, I think I have to do another video explaining how to even choose the school and then the courses, because I realize that most parents need education on that thing. Because parents will come and then they have they've written the names of the school on a piece of paper and they've come. Some can write A schools like you're like, hey. All right, so I think this is where we'll end today's video. I hope this is helpful. So yes, please subscribe to the channel and then like the video and then share.